So next, everybody says that you can't have as much fun. I seen one girl on TikTok, oh, I had to turn down a lot of parties. I had to say no to a lot of things. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that in college. Y'all, come on now. You just got to plan for it. If you want to have fun, you got to plan for it. I had one friend, she loved going to parties. She loved going out. She loved hanging out. In between classes, she was doing homework. She wasn't taking no naps. She wasn't going to lollygag with her friends. We had an hour or two in between two classes. She was working. I'm gonna say me too. The only difference between me and her is I didn't really care to party or nothing like that anyway. But so I'm not doing it to be able to go out and party and stuff like she was. But at the same time, we're doing the exact same thing because we want to just have a free weekend. We want to have our weekends free. We want to have our nights free. If a party do come up, because you know, freshman year parties be regular night. You have a party on a Thursday night, Wednesday night, you know. And for TSU, we didn't have classes on Fridays, so we had parties Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday night. You know, we had parties all the time. So what we would do, like I said, in between classes, we not lollygagging. We not going to the caf to chill and talk to our friends. We're going to do some work. We're gonna do some homework in between classes. Whatever class I just came from, I'm about to sit down and try to do their homework that I just got. Or I'm about to look over the notes for that so I can go ahead and study. Maybe there's gonna be a test. Like, I'm going to work. I give myself no free time during the week because I want that free time on the weekend. Like, I wanted, once it hit Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because we didn't have no class Friday, I didn't want to have to do no work if I didn't have to. So you just gotta plan accordingly, y'all. You can have all the fun you want if you have good study habits and you plan accordingly. You can have just as much fun as everybody else if you have those two things: study habits and plan accordingly. So that all really wraps up into having discipline. So that's what you need if you want to have fun. Now, if you're being disorganized, you're not doing your work when you need to, obviously you're not gonna have time because you're gonna be working behind every single week. You're not gonna have time to have fun. You're gonna regret the fact that you had fun because you know you're behind already and you just make yourself more behind. So just don't do that, y'all. Plan accordingly and be organized. Just don't give up. This is very generic, but don't give up when it get hard. I know a lot of people, they get in the class and they just, oh my gosh, this class, you just failing test after test after test and you just don't see how you're gonna make it, y'all. Please keep going, y'all. I had one class, a calculus class. I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, I'm not good at mental math at all. So I had a calculator as a crutch, y'all. So when I got a calculus and my teacher told me, oh, we don't use calculators here, I was like, I want to give up right there, because what am I about to do? I can't do no mental math, especially not fast mental math where I gotta finish a test in a certain amount of time. I was like, well, hang a degree up for me, okay, y'all. And I really tell myself, you're not about to give up. You're not about to give up. So I had to work 10 times harder in that class, y'all, I swear, because I had to reteach myself foundations. I had to start not only learning the calculus work, I had to go back and I was timing myself again, like we did in elementary with my timetables and mental math and all that stuff. Like, I was timing myself do this so that I could get faster and a better flow when it came to the test taking, because I had to do it faster. Because the mental math, it wasn't that I was just horrible at mental math, it was the fact that it took me a long time. It took me a minute, you know? And when you're taking a test, you don't have minutes to waste. You don't have seconds to waste. So I was not finishing my test when I first got in that class. And it was hurting me, you know. But that's because I'm moving slow with the mental math. So I had to teach myself and practice not only the work that I was getting every day in that class, but I also had to go back and teach myself some foundations that I had missed. Like I said, when it comes to math and science, a lot of people struggle because they don't have the foundations. So like for one of our classes, well, for our math part, you get placed into a class based on your ACT score. So for engineers, we have to take Calculus 1, Calculus 2, Calculus 3, differential equations, you know, a whole bunch of other math. Okay, y'all? But if you don't start out for our degree math at TSU, if you don't start out for Calculus 1 your first semester, you're basically kind of behind with the rest of your classes, okay? Because once you get the differential equations and Calculus 3, they start being prerequisites to some of your other engineering classes. So if you don't have those done when you need to have them done, and you can't even start taking the engineering courses that you need to take because you have to have already taken Calculus 2, Calculus 3, and differential equations. So now you're getting put off for freaking engineering classes because you don't even have the prerequisite. And a lot of people don't start off with the foundation, so the ACT scores don't place them in Calculus 1. So, you know, you kind of already starting out behind because you don't get placed to Calculus 1. Like I said, that all goes back to a foundation thing, and that just means you have to work a little bit harder. It's not necessarily to mean you're dumb or anything like that. You just gotta work a little bit harder to make up for the fact that you don't know this or that. That's it, y'all. You just gotta work for it. You're gonna have to teach yourself not only what you're learning right now every day, but you're also gonna have to go back and teach yourself what you don't know, what you missed in high school, what you missed in middle school or elementary school. And you just gotta carve out that time to do that. You will not use everything that you learn, okay? You don't use all the things that you learn in class. In school, majority of the things you learn in school, we do not use out in the field, at the desk, we don't use. Always look at it as if if it's one big test, see if you have the will and discipline to finish. I think that's what separates you from the people who end up dropping out or don't finish. As far as it goes, is what companies are looking at. You're a finisher. You finish tasks. Degrees don't usually show to a company that you're smarter, you're the smartest person. No, it don't show all that, y'all. It shows that you are most likely more reliable. Like I said, are a finisher. You finish things, you finish tasks. You don't quit. You know how to continue and follow through even when it's hard. Even when you don't understand something, you know how to learn. You're teachable. You're able to learn. You're able to adapt. That's what the degree says about you to a company. versus people who don't have it. They don't know. Is that person gonna be reliable? We don't know. But for her, we have a piece of paper that shows she's reliable, she's disciplined, she's teachable, she's able to learn, she's able to adapt. Because you have to have all those things to finish that degree. And you're a completer. You complete tasks. So they know when they hire you and get you on the job that they can give you a task and you're going to complete it no matter how hard. You're disciplined. You went through all these years and you continued and you graduated. You went through and completed for 4 years focused on getting one thing. That takes a lot of discipline. And that shows a great deal to a company that is trying to hire you. And it shows them a lot about your characteristics. Well, your character. You're a person that starts something and completes it. And like I said, most importantly, it shows that you're teachable. You're able to learn. That's a big thing, y'all, because like I said, you're not going to use everything that you learn in school. But now that they know that you're teachable, that you're able to learn, because everybody's not teachable, okay? But you've done that for 4 years. You got a degree that confirms that you did that. So now when you come to their job, you're going to learn everything on the job. But now that they know that they can teach you, you're teachable, and you know how to learn and pick up things, they know, okay. So when we hire her, we're going to be able to teach her. She's going to be able to learn what we give her. She's going to be able to complete the task that we give her. That's what their assumption is based on you have that degree. It does not mean that you're the smarter person for the job. You're the better person for the job. That's all that means when it comes to companies. And people will say, oh, I graduated high school. That's not the same, y'all. You had to go to high school because mommy and daddy to make you go to high school. The government says you have to go to high school. That's it. It's not the same. They're waking you up and getting you to school. They gotta fill out all your paperwork. It's not the same. They're doing it for you. College is you on yourself. You're doing it by yourself. It only accounts for you. It shows you what you're willing to do. So now that they see you're teachable and you're disciplined and you can finish stuff, now they can teach you what they need to teach you for their job. And that's why a degree is so important to a lot of companies, because it's always usually a requirement, because knowing that you're teachable and disciplined is so important, y'all, because they're literally about to put you in school again with their company. So you about to start this all over, and the only difference is you about to get paid for it. Because like I said, you learn everything on the job. So they're literally about to put you in school again with their company. But they're going to pay you good money for it. So that kind of goes into what I want to talk about. I know people say, why get a degree? Why are companies looking over me? Even though I have experience for somebody with a degree, y'all. That answers that question, okay? Like I said, that piece of paper signifies to a company that person is teachable and that person is reliable. That person is disciplined. That person completes tasks. And that person is going to complete whatever task they present them with. And they rather place their bet on that than a person without it. That's all it is, y'all. So don't think everything that you learn in school you got to remember for the long term. You don't use it, okay? It's more of a symbol. Your degree is more of a symbol to not just the company, but yourself, that you can complete something long term, that you're disciplined, that you're teachable, or a lifelong learner. That's what it signifies. Last thing, it's never too early to start looking into internships. I know it's your first year, but you can get an internship even with it being your first year for that summer coming up. You definitely can. I've seen it happen. So don't count yourself out just because you don't know, you feel like you don't know nothing, or you're I'm a freshman, I really haven't even gotten into my engineering classes. How am I supposed to get an internship, all that? People say, even will give you advice to wait till your sophomore, junior year, senior year. No, you do not have to, y'all. You can definitely get an engineering internship your freshman year. And I will say, because I'm going to talk about that more when I start talking about internships in another video, and scholarships. Y'all let me know which one y'all want me to talk about first, internships or scholarships. But I will talk about more of that then. But the main thing you have to do if you want to get an internship your freshman year is knowing how to sell yourself as an engineer, knowing how to sell yourself as a person, as a teachable person, as a learner, learning how to sell yourself. And also it helps if you had like high school experience or you shadowed somebody. Like I said, if you're a high school student, high school senior looking to get into engineering, after you graduate, I would say, since you still are in high school and have this year, please go and get some type of extracurricular activity that has something to do with what you're interested in. Or maybe it's, like I said, shadowing somebody, finding an engineer that you might know or your family may know, somebody that does the same field as you, and seeing if they could let you shadow them for a day on the weekends or something like that. Because sometimes, you know, us as engineers will work weekends, or if you can come after school, maybe an hour or two just to see. Who knows, you know? But something to start kind of putting on your resume, because I did have things on my resume from high school that would help me get an internship as a freshman. So it does help having those extracurricular activities in high school that you can put on the resume to have something to show them. You don't have to have multiple jobs, because obviously you ain't gonna have jobs by that time. But having extracurricular activities that deal with engineering as something you're interested in, is the field you're going into, that helps and goes a long way. And I said that was the last thing, so I am going into here. But this is a note to all my engineering girls. Y'all going into it, I'm proud of you. I love that there are more girls coming into this field, and I pray that you are able to finish it, y'all. I really do. I mean, I'm here to help in any type of way I can. Leave in the comments any questions you have. But I do want to tell y'all, the engineering girls, you will have guys in your engineering class. Your classes will be mostly guys, okay? Depending on where you go to school, you're gonna be in a room full of guys, okay? For the most part. You know, we're getting better. It's you know, as the years go on, we're getting better and better at having more women into the field, but it's still male dominated. So you will have a lot of males in your classes. So don't be surprised and don't be intimidated, because they're learning the same thing you're learning, and So what you intimidated for? Don't let them intimidate you. In the same position as them, like I just said. But also be prepared for that. I seen one girl on TikTok. She was like, basically that she wasn't prepared or didn't know that it was gonna be a lot of men in her classes for engineering. And I'm just like, to me that seemed pretty obvious. But I've also had, like I said, I took engineering classes in high school. My high school had an engineering track, so I was well aware that I was going to be one of the few women in a classroom for the most part in a job. That was pointed out to me very obvious. It's the fact that I was literally one of 3 girls in a classroom in high school in the engineering department, you know. So I already knew that going into college that that's how my classes was going to be, that's how the field was going to be. But everybody doesn't have the same experiences. And a lot of people go into engineering and don't have any prior background or knowledge about it. This is just something they like. This is just something they were interested in. So it's like, hey, you know, I like that. Why not? But they don't have any prior knowledge behind it. So I guess that makes sense as to why she wouldn't have known that. But I do want y'all to be prepared for that. But yeah, y'all, that's it for today's video. I will be going over more tips and tricks. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to talk to y'all eventually about my undergrad experience as an architectural engineer, my grad experience as a civil engineer. I'm going to talk to y'all about my experience in corporate America as a field engineer, talk about my work in construction, my work now, give advice on landing full-time jobs as an engineer. That'll be mainly for my senior engineering students, but I'll talk about why I chose engineering, how I got into it, kind of describe the whole high school aspect of it, because I know y'all probably like, what does that mean? You had an engineering track at your high school. And I also talk to y'all more about, like I said, scholarships and how to land internships, all of the sorts, y'all. And if you want me to talk about something first before I get into any of that, if you have something else, let me know in the comments below. I just want this to be able to help you. This channel is, I want to help all the, I said female engineers because I want to inspire more women to get into the field. But also if you are a male and you found this channel and found this video informative, you're welcome here as well, okay? If I'm helping you in any type of way, I just want to help somebody stay encouraged to stay in the engineering field, whether you're a male or a female. I would definitely want to inspire more women to get into it. So if I do have any like side notes, just like I had at the end of this video, or like I might have a video that's catered to women, maybe I'll talk about being a woman in a male dominated field, how I felt about it, how I deal with it on a day-to-day basis. So I will have videos that will probably cater to female engineers or aspiring female engineers, because I really want to promote that. But I also will have regular topics just like this, and it's for male and female. So, you know, you can stick around too. But this channel is literally just for that. I'm giving engineering advice, all things engineering. I work specifically in the construction field, so I'm talking about engineering, construction, school, career. That's all this channel is for, y'all. And yeah, I hope this helped y'all in some type of way. Thank you for watching.